Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to Keep Fish Simple. So for this week's video, I'm going to show you guys how I made these cute little coconut hides with a few simple tools, and this is a really satisfying video and I think you're all going to enjoy it. So make sure you stay around to the end and watch all the steps that I provide for you guys. And without any further ado, let's get started on the video. So I started with my coconut and I first drilled a small hole into the top of the coconut so that I can drain all the water from it. So I used my small drill bit, and then I'll grab my big drill bit and drill a bigger hole and then put it over the cup just to drain the water out of the coconut. So I made sure I got all the water out before I started cutting and drilling anymore, just so that wasn't a big mess. And as you can see, I got all the water out here, just making sure I'm getting out any little small drops that I missed, and then we can start on the next bit. So then I took my small drill bit and started to drill holes in the shape of a circle around the coconut so that I can make the entrances to the two caves. And then I'll go around with my big drill bit as well after this and drill bigger holes just to make bigger gaps. So after this, I retraced with the small drill bit and just fixed up any little gaps that I'd missed in the circle. So then I grabbed the big drill bit and just drilled into the small holes that I just drilled, and basically just made a big slot that I can punch out. So then I grabbed my chisel and tapped out the hole that I just drilled. As you can see, we've just made the hole for the entrances to the cave, and then I go over and trace out the halves of the coconut that I want to cut. So then I'll grab my drill and begin drilling holes into the coconut where I've traced over so that I can create two halves. So after I finish drilling the holes, I'll grab my chisel and just punch out the holes and split the coconut into two halves. It's really important to tap really lightly here so you don't split the coconut into any shapes that you didn't intend on doing. So I've successfully made the two caves. Now I've got to punch out the coconut that's still in the caves so that I only have the shell. So then I grabbed the butter knife because it's blunt and just began cutting out the pieces and pushing them out so that I have only the shell here. So I do this with the other piece, and this isn't very difficult. As you see, I punched out a little hole here, but that's okay. So after this, I just got some sandpaper and just began running over the really pointy edges on the coconut and just smoothed them out so that they weren't dangerous. So after this, I put the coconut shells into boiling water just to boil the tannins and any parasites that could have been on the coconut to make sure that they're aquarium safe. By boiling the shells, I also remove any air that's in the wood so that they sink into the aquarium. So after 15 minutes, this is what the water looks like. The shells have begun to sink and there's quite a bit of tannin in the water. So after this, I drained them and then put some new water in and began reboiling it. After I'd boiled for a significant amount of time, I took it out and drained it into the sink and just washed the pieces. And you can see me here pouring it and just got some cold water over them and made sure that I got rid of any debris. And here's what they look like after they're done. And these are 100% aquarium safe and ready to put in. So here's what they look like in the aquarium. I'm really impressed with how they look. I think the drills make the openings to the cave look really sick because they've got the rigid edges and it looks really natural. So yeah, I'm really impressed with how this turned out. So that pretty much sums up the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.